Hello, hello. Happy Monday. I hope you've all had a good weekend. I know I say that every Monday. I need to say something different. Everything's great. I got to spend some time in the pool today. I hope you got to be someplace cool, if it's as warm as it is here. I'm not complaining, not one tiny bit. It's really, really nice. Really hot, but really nice. And so probably that's why this card came about. Hey, Susan. I guess I was thinking about water and the ocean, and no, I'm not at the ocean. I'm in my above ground pool in the backyard, but it's still pretty cool. So I'm going to do a couple things with you tonight. So I want to get started. I can see that you're all coming on in, so welcome. We are going to, this is one that I did a little something extra to it. Oh, let me show you the card. So this is the card that we're making. And if you look really close, you can see that I wrote the text. And I actually wrote and then colored in Mr. Shark too. 105, Tammy. Ay, ay, ay. And I thought 90 was hot. But for Vermont, it is. But, you know, we're good. We're doing the whale. Well, he's kind of a shark or a whale. He could be either one. He doesn't have a lot of teeth. I started out thinking he was a shark. But, you know, he could be a dolphin. He's kind of happy. Okay, so. But I want you to do a couple things in Design Space. And I know I usually cut using the app. But I am much happier making these changes and adjustments in Design Space on my computer. So I'm going to show you that. And then he looks like a shark. Yeah, I thought he was a shark, but he could be a whale. He's happy, whatever he is. Okay, so you're in Design Space. I've just uploaded this and brought it in. This is your SVG. If you're new and you haven't used simple SVGs before, they do not need to be unzipped. They come in ready to go. So you simply go to upload. The biggest, trickiest thing is remember, where is it on my computer? You upload, browse where you saved it, and then you bring it on in. I have too many. Add your tags if you want to. Tags are things that you would search for, and then you save. Okay? It's that easy. And then when you click on this, you bring him on in. So he's in. They come in the right size. Oops, he is the wrong one. Hold on. Now he's the right size. Oh, Becky, I so get that. Yesterday was my day, and my brain was definitely fried. Today was my day to rest, and I did just that. All right, so you bring it on in. The two things we talked about are we want to, and I'm going to blow this up a little bit. I'm going to zoom in a little so that you can see it better. And if you come over in the layers panel, it all comes in grouped. You don't have to ungroup just yet. And I'm going to go down to this layer. And I click on that. You can see that it is the text. And I'm going to come up here and change it from cut to draw. All right, easy. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the shark. Now, you could cut him out. He's not that tiny. He'd be okay. You'd have to deal with these little pieces of the water splash, but it still would be fine. It's not that tiny. You could get away with it. But I wanted to color him in. So I click on him. I come up here and I change it to draw. Now I have to tell Cricut, where do I want you to do all this drawing? Because if I don't, it's just going to randomly draw on the blank mat, which isn't what I want. So I'm going to click on this guy again and we're going to ungroup. And rather than move things around, and this is where I like the computer version, in the app, you actually have to move things around in order to select the things you want to attach. So in here, I can just go on this draw layer and I want it to draw on the shadow, which is right below it. So I'm going to hold down Shift and select both of them, and I'm going to say attach, and you're going to freak out and think everything disappeared. Just move this out of the way and you'll see it just brought that to the front. And I'm going to come back over here in the layers panel. I'm going to click on this draw, hold down my Shift, and this cut, which is a little tiny white layer that's behind the shark. So he ends up with a white, this piece ends up white. And I'm going to attach. Again, it ends up on top, but that's okay, everything's still there. Now I'm going to say make it, and Cricut's going to send it on over here. And you'll see there's my shadow layer. It's a draw and cut. Here's my shark layer. It too is a draw, then cut. Then I have the middle layer, and then the detailed waves, okay? All right, so let's move that to the side, and we're gonna go into actually the iPad. And in this case, I need to, whoops, I messed that up. Because, let me come back to here in just a second. Let me get it back up. What I want to do after I do all the maneuvers so that I can actually cut it on my iPad, and I do that because the Bluetooth sticks quicker and I feel like it works a little faster on my iPad. It's not necessary one way or the other. Anyway, you need to save this. And I'm going to save it as the sharks, and then I'll know what that is. And then when I want to open it in Design Space on my iPad, I can, which is right here. Now I can move this away. And I'm going to start a new project because I made some changes in this from the first time I did it. I'm going to say upload. And I can just upload my guy, but if I upload it, he's not going to have the changes that I want. So what I'm going to say is I don't want a new project. I want to open a project. You just have to think about, what am I telling Cricut? What do I want it to do? So some people may say, well, it's just way easier to do it in here, and then you don't have to worry about that. But I like the ability to see it on my computer, and that's just my old eyes, and it works better. So I'm going to say make it. Again, I'm using the card mat. You can, on my Joy, you can use any one you want. And we need to figure out what papers we want. So I, of course, went with Whale of a Time paper, which is why poor Becky was confused. And I really like these papers, and they just seem to be quite appropriate for what we're doing. So I don't know how many more I have of these because I've used this a lot, but I was trying to find the same ones. We could do it in blue instead of the green. We could do these two. We could do that one. I mean, we have so many choices. I'm going to go with the blue ones, I think. Although I do like the green. Yeah, we're going to go with the blue so they're similar to what you have. The green one has a little fish. Yeah, I do. I really like the computer for that. I just find it a whole lot easier. And then I need a piece of Pool Party. And I need a piece of Whisper White, which I may have used all my Whisper White out of this pack. Those of you that have not been here before, you're wondering, what does she have? Where did she get that pack? How did this happen? I made this. You can order the wide stamp cases, right? This is the little label that came off my Whale of a Tail paper. I cut those into 4-inch strips. So they're 4x6s. And then I went through that little label and I found all the papers that coordinate with this designer series paper, the colors. And I cut these cute little, I cut an 8.5 by 11 in 4s. So it's 4 1/4 by 5.5 pieces of all the coordinating colors. All right. super easy. I just need some Whisper White, which I'm going to go over here to another pack that has Whisper White in it and help myself to that. There. All right, so now we're ready to make this. And let's see, that's A. And B is U. Okay. And the first layer it wants the shark, which is the white. So we're going to put our white down. And notice it wants to draw and cut. So I'm going to use my Cricut Joy pen. Remember, these are different than Cricut pens. Regular Cricut pens don't fit in the Cricut Joy. Some of us learn that the hard way, like me. If you are not using the Cricut Joy and you're using your Maker, no worries. Or your Explorer. Any of these simple SVGs will work with all the Cricut Design Space machines. So if your machine can use Design Space, you can be a simple SVG user. I recommend that you double check the blog post today talking about this class, and you want to check it now. If you are not a member of our mailing list, I offer coupon codes. Some of them are in Facebook groups, but generally going forward, they're going to be in the mailing list because you guys have taken the time to stay in touch. So I want to reward you with the coupon codes. So they will be in our mailing list going forward. And there was a really cool one for the weekend. If you missed it, you'll find it in the blog post too. So if you just go to karamiller.com and click on blog, but it's only good for tonight. So it's a link to join the mailing list, and then you can use the coupon code that previous mailing list people had for the weekend. It's good just till tomorrow. So you gotta be quick. If I've thoroughly confused you, I'm sorry. Alrighty, so it finished drawing the shark. Now I'm going to pop the blade in and tell the machine to go ahead. And so it's going to cut around the shark that it just drew. I love this part of the Cricut. And so this is what I'm going to color. I'm going to color in this shark. Now you could use lots of different things. I could have drawn him on a different color paper if I wanted. And I wouldn't have had to color him in. I could have drawn him on a darker color. He could be a white shark, for all I care. But I'm going to color him with, I'm not sure. The other guy, I used Pretty Peacock, but he needs a different color with this blue. So I think it is Pacific. I don't know. We'll look at it in a minute. We'll get to the coloring. Next layer is the... Let's see, it's not our shadow, it is, I think I'm going to go with the waves. It's this layer, which on the card is this one. So this is what you're going to see the most of, so I think the waves would look cool. So we're going to pop that in. You don't want to use a pattern paper for the shadow layer on this one, which is our next one, because you have to write on it. And it would be hard for it to read on a pattern paper like this. Staring at the thing cutting. I'm not talking. I love watching the Cricut cut. It's the craziest thing. I don't know why. Just always is, it's like meditation. Let's just watch the Cricut cut. had a really cool thought. No, too busy. All right. So there's this piece. And our little shark's going to fit right there, right? All right, we are moving right along. Now this is the bottom shadow, and it's also the one it's going to write on. So I'm going to use this one, my pool party. And I need to load my pen back in. So now what if you didn't? What if you tried to cut this? What would happen? More than likely, this text is really little and it would just tear the paper because it's so small. When you see how it writes it, you'll realize that that probably wouldn't look good. You could use vinyl, and we've talked about this, and I have a video, it hasn't been able to upload yet. Let's hope tomorrow's a better day, and it uploads better, showing you how to do this in vinyl. You're wondering, what is he doing? This is a really cool font, and I'll put the link up later from Designer Bundles. It's called Shark Font, and it has the shark head and the shark tail that you can use in the extras. It's kind of cool. Okay, so it wrote that title, and now it's ready to cut the rest. Hey, Mary Lou. Alrighty. Okay, so see, it's cutting around the text, but it's not cutting it out. So it's going to let it kind of float there, but it's not going to be cutting out those teeny tiny little letters, which would not be happy. And then we have one more layer to go. And we're going to unload. And you kind of have to lift this careful because it's a little dainty. All right. See what it did? Now it's got a little hole right here that it wants to punch out to show a little more detail. And that's it. I've tried sometimes coloring in the actual font. I will tell you that I'm never really satisfied when I do. I always think it's going to look good, and then I wish I didn't. So you can experiment with it and see what you think. You could color the shark in, but you lose a lot of the detail when you do that. So I'm going to leave him the way he is. I think he's good. I'm happy with him. And you're wondering, well, why doesn't it fill in? It doesn't fill in because it's designed to actually cut out. Remember, we changed it to draw? So if it were a single line, it wouldn't cut out. So the font is designed to cut. That's why you could cut it with vinyl, because vinyl would handle being so tiny. And we're going to cut. And this is our last layer, and then we're going to put everybody together. All right, and one thing we need is our card base. All these embellies are designed to go on a simple card base, 8.5 by 11, cut in half. So you have 8.5 by 5.5. and then you're going to score it at 4 1/4. So you could have a whole bunch of card bases made and be ready to go and add those to your. I tend to use Whisper White just because I'm that vanilla, but I like Whisper White card bases. It gives me room to write inside and I can write, but bright colors are really pretty too. Alrighty, so let's move you over there and let's put this together. So how this is going to go is this goes like this, right? And then this goes like this. Now, I can decide, do I want the white behind there? Would I like some designer series paper back there? This would look kind of cool behind it, but see, I kind of cut something out of it. Becky, I am hearing that it does fill it in on the scan and cut. I have not tried it. Joyce, are you here tonight? We have a scan and cut user who that's what she uses all of these for. And she tells me that it fills it in. I don't know why. It doesn't change it. I really should plug it in and give it a shot and see what it does. I thought it might be because the scan and cut pens are much thicker. But she seems to think that it, Joyce, I wish you could report. She tells me that it goes in and fills it. Has anybody tried them on a scan and cut that's here? No? One of the things that we do have trouble with is doesn't always bring it in at the right size. Yeah, Shannon, give it a shot. See what you think. So this is going to tuck underneath here and give us an extra wave, like so, right? So I don't think I'm going to do anything in the background. I love the joy. I seriously do. You guys know I wasn't gonna love it, and I'm just so madly in love with it. I don't want to use anything else. So any of these would look cool. I mean, even this one with the turtles. I mean, it's a little busy. I like being able to just see it. This might. Yeah, I'm gonna go with white, but lots of choices. A lot. Well, one of the things I heard Shannon was if you bring them in. Let me figure this out. If you use a bigger mat when you bring them in. But yes, the sizing isn't the same. They're really designed to be used with Cricut. They are. But we can always make things work. So this guy, I picked these up before I do with my things. Here they are. Okay. So I'm going to use, well, I'm going to test. This is Night of Navy because I don't have the new blend colors. And I feel like the light Night of Navy might work. I want to see. I think he'll be okay, that color. I could use gray and it would be all right, but I'm going to go with the light Night of Navy. And I'm going to start with my, and you notice I'm doing him before I glue him to the card because I could potentially mess up. My husband's trying to convince me that it's not as hot out now and that he can mow the lawn. I think he's crazy, but okay. So if you hear the lawnmower, that's what it is. He thinks it's cooled down a little. I don't think so. It's crazy humid too. Well, not for people that live in humid areas. Right, right, Susan? They really aren't bad. These are the those of you that are wondering, these are Color Street. I put them on last week, and I seriously have done everything, and I've not touched them up. I don't have nail polish that lasts that long, even if I pay a fortune. I think that my nails are starting to grow under them. So you can't really do like a touch-up or a fill. I'm going to have to talk to Sarah, my consultant, and update my color. Even Grace's are still on. And I've been swimming every day with them. Now, that's using the term loosely. I'm floating. I'm not really swimming. There's not a whole lot of actual athletic activity going on. I'm sitting in the floaty. But those of you that know me will know that that really is a challenge for me to actually just sit. I don't do that well. So today I was thinking I was probably not doing anything for maybe 20 minutes in the pool. And nobody was here and it was just me. And I thought, wow, I'm actually not trying to do something. I'm actually just sitting here. This is pretty weird. But I kind of liked it. Okay, so this is not necessarily a Facebook Live project to be coloring. You kind of just have to go closer to I like to start over to the edge. I am using the wider end. And I like blends because all this kind of lines of my coloring, it will fill in as it dries. All right. So, I kind of went over the line a little, but it'll be okay. You don't have to color him in if you don't want to. You really don't. He'd be fine the way he was. And you really could have cut that from... He would have been okay cut out. But I wanted him to be matchy. So now those colors will blend in. I took the little tiny pen, the Cricut Joy pen. Let me get even closer so that you can see his eyeball. And I just colored in half of the eye. I don't think that's how sharks look at you, but that made him look happier. All right. Now we're going to put this together. So I think he needs to be kind of raised up a little bit. So I'm going to use my dimensionals on him. He really is adorable. I really like him a lot. So some dimensionals back there. And then he goes right on there. Right? And then, right, happy sharks. And then we're going to, all right, you're going to be watching me saying, oh wow, she figured out how to use that. I'm going to fess up. This is the Seal Plus. Works super easy. The Seal has a learning curve. I have not made the curve yet. I wish I could tell you that it was something we're doing wrong. I've asked and I get everything from a light touch, a heavy touch, angle, no angle, twist, break off. I think it's just something new. It's different than the snail. It works great. I love the way it sticks. but I feel like I have to start it a lot. So just so that you know, I'm going to pop this in here. I didn't want to act like I was like a smarty pants and I knew how to use it. I really am still struggling with it. I'll show you. Yeah, Seal Plus is awesome. Seal Plus is more like Fuse as far as strength. So it works good if you do like 3D things. The problem I'm having with the Seal is I have to move it along and get the sticky part, and then I'm okay. Now this is where everyone's telling me a light touch, and I'm being really light, and it's still not. This just easy peasy. So I don't know. I feel like it's the way the adhesive comes out. I love the Seal Plus. I really do. All right. So then the problem is it is not repositionable. So commit. Where you drop it is where it's staying. There's no moving it. All right. And then I'm going to flip it over and we're going to do some dimensionals back here too, because this card just really cried out for it, I think. Yeah, can you tell my dimensionals came in? Oh, that's what everyone is having the same trouble, so I don't feel quite so bad. It's brand new for Stampin' Up, and I don't know. I'm sorry that I can't make it work as well as I want it to. It's a great adhesive, and maybe I'll figure it out. I'm still on my first one. And I mean, I can make it work, but I look kind of ridiculous doing it. Okay, whoops. All right. So, come along, Mr. Shark. And he's going to go like that. So, I kind of like the background paper, but I also like him plain. So you can decide which one you like. This guy was, I resized him. This was my first test, and you can see that we're going to be straight up truth in advertising here. It was too long. It was just a little bit too long. So I resized it. Right. So this is the size he's supposed to be. But I wanted to show you the two colors. Okay. So this is our little dude. I really like him. And remember, if you sign up, you go in and make sure you're signed up for the mailing list. It's really easy. It's right on the blog too, in case you missed it on the front page. It's kind of down on the right hand side of the front page of the website. And get the coupon code. You won't get it when you sign up because I'm not that sophisticated to know how to do that. But it's in the blog post too. And if you don't know and you can't find it, just send me a note. All right, everybody, have a great night and a really good week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.